Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today we're actually going to try to get this cab up off this chassis. You're going to have to unhook a few things. You got brake lines that go from the master cylinder down to the frame. Actually, they go to the proportioning valve. So them got to be unhooked, either proportioning valve, master cylinder. I got them unhooked right there. Letting them drain so then I can unhook them from the master cylinder and I don't get brake fluid all over the frame. These brake lines are really coming off easily, but this is like a Colorado, Montana truck, so it's not that badly rusted, so everything's coming off good. Yours might really fight you. A lot of times when you go to take these off, you just twist the whole line and they come off, which is no big deal if you're replacing the lines. I'm going to replace these. They're working, but I mean, just the looks of them are terrible. So I'm going to keep them as a pattern because I think I'm going to make my own lines on this truck. Anyway, you got to take that off. You got to take off any wiring that's connected to the cab. I actually have all my wiring off, unplugged. Your light harness for the tailgate or the bed. I think it's hooked to a few things under there. You got to unhook your shifter. If you got an automatic, you got a shifter hooked to your column. I just unhooked that. You're going to have steering coming out of your steering shaft there. I have that unhooked because I got my steering box off the frame there. So that's unhooked. I believe that's pretty much it. You want to go under there, make sure nothing's been attached to the cab, like hangers for exhaust or something like that, some crazy thing. A lot of people do some weird stuff. You also make sure miscellaneous wires and stuff aren't connected to the underside of the cab. Once I get this brake line drained, I'm going to pull them lines. I'm going to raise the whole truck up, and then we're going to take the body mounts off. There should be 4 bolts under there holding this cab on. And this thing should be ready to go. I'm going to let it down. I'm going to use the lift. I'm going to grab the rockers of the truck and I'm going to lift the cab off. Okay, so I got my lines off. One thing I'm noticing is this is really dry, the front one. See, the rear one's wet, which is what it should be. That one's dry. I'd say maybe that might not even be working. But this is things on old trucks, guys. I am gonna replace the master cylinder and the booster. Braking is not a system you want to go cheap on and try to reuse something old like this. It's just too important of a thing, guys. I know it costs money, but if you end up dead because you don't have any brakes, it's really not worth it. So. Okay, truck's up in the air. You got a few things under here. First off, you got your parking brake cable. It's got to be disconnected. You got a mount right there. You got a mount right there. A mount right there. And then again, a mount right there, and these are loose. You see that hole? The hole right there. I tried to spray blaster. I sprayed it a while ago in there, trying to help these nuts release. There's like a cage nut in there. Hopefully this is, like I said, Colorado, Montana truck. I'm hoping I'm not going to have much trouble with them. They are loose. I hope they're not stripped out. Like someone tried to take them off and they stripped them out. But I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to start with a hand wrench to see if they're turning. And wish me luck, guys. Okay, so I got the cab off the frame. I had two of the cab mounts that kind of fought me. And you got to remember, like I said, there's a cage nut in there. And if you twist it off too hard, you can twist the nut out of the cage. And that's a bad deal. Then you got to go into the cab and you got to cut the floor out to fix that. So what I do is I loosen it up until you get, there's resistance. You can feel when it's not feeling good. Then you want to go back and tighten it back up. Then loosen it back up. Then tighten it back up, loosen it, and kind of work it a little farther and a little farther each time. It's best to do that and take your time than to try to like put a big impact on it and try to hammer it out, because that's probably not going to end well for you. You're probably going to end up having to go cut the floor inside the cab and fix the cage nut. Well, here's the mounts. These two are the front mounts. It looks original to me. That don't look like a replacement bushing. Looks like original bolts for it too. You can see this one here don't look like it was in the bolt very far, but I don't like the looks of that. But and then here in the back they had two different size bolts. I don't know what that's about. Them are replacement bolts. Them are just regular bolts. But I don't see like any anti-seize. If you are able to get these bolts out, these cab bolts on anything, any old vehicle, guys, you want to spray that with blaster, kind of clean it up, and then there should be anti-seize on these bolts. If you get them out without wrecking them, you gotta put something in there, because you're pretty lucky to get them out. So I'll be doing that. I gotta spray the mounts, and then when the bolts go back in, they'll be anti-seize. Same thing we did with Dad's Camaro, and then you'll never have an issue with them again. If you want to pull them out, you can pull them out whenever. But got to get the forklift now. I'm going to get a couple pallets, and I'll slide the chassis back. We'll come in, swoop up with the pallets, pick the cab off, get it out of the way, and then I don't know if we'll do something with the bed today or not. It's definitely not as warm as they said it was going to be. Thought it was going to be a warmer day today, but it really isn't. So we'll see. Okay, so there's the cab on some pallets. Probably gonna be a while before we see that again. So I gotta move that to the side, and then, well, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. If I'm gonna pull that bed off. Problem with the bed is they got a bunch of stuff stacked on it. So I guess we'll see here. Okay, so working on getting this bed unbolted. They got some, I don't think that's a factory bed mount. It looks like a body mount. So I don't exactly know what they got going on there, but I got everything unbolted. I mean, they had these crazy long bolts. This is what they had the bed bolted down with. I mean, I don't know exactly where they even found them, but no reason to have them that long. And then this floor is custom made. Hopefully this floor is going to support the weight, because I'm going to go outside with it. I'm going to raise this up. I'm going to block it up so I can get under it with the forklift tines, and then I'm going to pick it off the bed, and then I'll probably just stick it on a pallet. I'll set it on a pallet or something out there, but that's the plan. We'll see what happens. Well, so that's it, guys. My back is shot. I'm done. The bed was harder than I thought. Had to get some boards, and then it got dark on me, so I couldn't film pulling it off. But I basically did what I said, but it was just a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But it's like someone might have cleaned up the frame at one point, painted it back here, but I'll go over everything, guys, probably the next video, and show you what I got here. But yeah, I just got a chassis now, so I'll be working on that, so stay tuned. Probably start on cleaning up the frame, working on the axles, cleaning up the drivetrain. So I'll see you guys.